Hey, good optometry morning. So these are progressive lenses, and you deserve the best ones. So which are the very best progressive lenses? So in this video, I'm going to share with you some things that many people don't know about progressive lenses, but I'm also going to share with you my best recommendations for you for progressive lenses. But before we do that, let me share with you a little insider information about the optical industry. So what a lot of people don't know is that there are a whole whackload of progressive lenses. There's not just one, there's a whole bunch of them. In fact, there's about 5, 6, 7 different companies that make progressive lenses, and each of them have a portfolio of progressive lenses. It's kind of like shopping for cars. You don't say, I'm just going to go buy a car, I'm going to buy a car anywhere, they're all the same. The driving experience and the experience that you receive from one car to another can be significantly different. And so the same thing is with progressive lenses. In fact, this book here, this lists all the different progressive lenses that are available on the market. There's about 500 different progressive lenses in this book. And do you see what year this was produced? That's over 10 years ago. And imagine now, there's even more progressives on the market. So how do you know what you should be getting? Well, the thing about progressive lenses is that there's not a perfect lens. All progressive lenses will have an area of sweet spot for reading, and they will all have some areas of distortions. And the difference between a great progressive and an entry-level progressive is the size of the distortions and the size of the sweet spot. And so better quality lenses, they'll be a lot easier to learn how to use and a lot more usable, comfortable vision. And spectacle lens companies spend millions of dollars on R&D every year to make better and better progressives. And I definitely understand the progressives that I'm going to be recommending in a few moments are expensive, but it's an investment. It's something you wear every single day and you use every moment of your waking hours to allow you to see clearly and comfortable, and you deserve the best in that. And so you should consider that an investment in something that's going to allow you to see clearly and comfortable all day long for a number of years. So I'm going to be sharing with you the very best progressives, the top tier progressive lens of each of these 5 companies. And these offer the latest and the best technology that you can get in every one of them. And I'm not sharing these in any particular order, but let's talk about what these lenses can do for you. So the first lens comes from a company called Nikon, or at least I pronounce it Nikon. Nikon is a Japanese company, and the actual proper pronunciation of their name is Nikon. So most people are familiar with the precise optics of Nikon cameras, but a lot of people don't know that one of the core business things that Nikon does is make the critically precise optics in order to create microchips. And they take the technology that they use to do that and flip it into their camera and spectacle lens technology. Now, Nikon's very best progressive lens is called the Seemax Ultimate Z series, or Z series. Now, the Nikon Seemax Ultimate Z has 2 technologies that they've introduced to make your viewing experience even better. So first of all, they've realized that a lot of us are using a lot more of our devices and our screens a lot more, and we need a lot more vision in this area, and we don't need so much way out at arm's reach. And so they've optimized that zone, and so you don't have to lift your chin up as much when you're looking at your screens. So that's a great feature that they've added. And the second feature that they've added is something taken from their Z series camera lenses in order to improve the contrast of the image. And that improved contrast can allow you to see images in more detail and more clearly. So if you're looking for a lens where you don't have to lift your chin up quite as much and something that really improves the contrast of your image in your progressive, then you want to consider the Nikon Seemax Ultimate Z. Okay, so the next lens that I'm going to talk about is a lens that comes from Carl Zeiss. So Carl Zeiss is a German optics company, and they focus on precision optics. And one of the things they brag about is that at some point in your life, you're going to be touched by the optics from Zeiss lenses, because their precise lens optics is used in most surgical microscopes, in cameras, binoculars, spectacle lenses. In fact, Zeiss lenses are used in Google Earth satellite to take images of the earth. So the best progressive lens offered by Zeiss is called the Zeiss SmartLife Individual 3. And this lens has 3 features that are really unique to it. So number one, they've taken into consideration the rotation of our eyes, how they move up and down and sideways, and how that plays into using your eyes when you're using a progressive. And in addition to that, they've done a global vision survey, surveying over 300,000 individuals and looking at their age, what they do, their lifestyle, and how they use their eyes and their vision. And what they've done is they've taken into consideration of that, of how I might use my eyes and my vision at my age and my lifestyle compared to somebody else, how they might use their eyes and vision, and they can design a customized progressive based on your specific needs. And in addition to that, Zeiss lenses are known for their incredible anti-reflection coatings. So if you're looking for a lens with really crisp, customized optics in your progressive with really great coatings, then you want to consider the Zeiss SmartLife Individual 3. Okay. All right, so let's go back to another Japanese optics company, and it's called Hoya. Hoya's best progressive lens is called the ID MyStyle 3. So Hoya's lens has 3 unique features to it that make it a really fantastic lens. So number one, they have a lifestyle profile survey where they will identify how you live your life and what activities are important to you, what part of your vision is important to you. And they will take that information and they will customize a progressive lens that will be designed specifically for you. And number two, there's a curve on the front of the lens and there's a curve on the back of the lens. Now, most companies, what they do is they put your glasses prescription, your distance prescription on the front of the lens, and on the back curves of the lens, they grind in the progressive portion, the portion that allows you to see at different distances. Now, Hoya does it a little bit differently because they take that progressive portion and they split it out partly on the front and partly on the back. And that provides a lens that provides a little bit larger reading zones with reduced distortion. And number three is something called BHT, or binocular harmonized technology. And basically what they're saying is we have 2 eyes and they need to see together. And the problem is a lot of people will have a prescription that's different in one eye than the other. And when that happens, you can get a different image size and a different location of that image for the 2 eyes. And sometimes that can be hard for the brain to fuse or link up those 2 images and can be a little bit confusing. So Hoya has taken their BHT, and what they do is they make those images more equal to allow the brain to merge those images and have a more comfortable binocular experience, particularly when you're looking up close. So if you have a prescription that's quite different between the 2 eyes and you want a customized lens for you, then you might want to be considering Hoya's ID MyStyle 3. Thanks so much for getting this far in the video and watching this. And I'd like to ask you a little favor. If vision is important to you and you like hearing topics like this where I make eye care simple, then please do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and the like button down below, because that really tells YouTube that this video is valuable and they should send it out to other people. So next is a company called Shamir. So Shamir is a specialty optics company out of Israel. And Shamir is known to spend a lot of research on progressive lens design. And in fact, they design a lot of the progressive lenses that you might be getting in your prescription sunglass lenses. But Shamir's best lens is called the Autographed Intelligence. And so what Shamir's research has shown them is that all of us will have different visual needs and require different prescriptions, different strengths, and different distances at different ages and depending on what our prescription is. So they can customize your progressive lens to you based on your age, your lifestyle, and your prescription. But one of the best technologies that I think that Shamir has is something called the Metaform. So Metaform isn't something that's unique to their progressive lens, but it's a technology in their coatings which allows them to produce a thinner lens. And so Metaform is a film of anti-reflection coating that is incredibly strong. And because it's so strong, what it can do is it adds strength to the lens, and they can make their lenses thinner than average. And so if you have a high prescription and you want the thinnest lenses with the least amount of rings in the peripheral part of the lens, you should be considering the Metaform Autographed Intelligence lens from Shamir. All right, and lastly, let's talk about Essilor. So Essilor is one half of the gigantic Essilor Luxottica group, which has the largest market share in the optical industry. So they own Oakley, they own Ray-Ban, they own Pearl Vision, they own LensCrafters, they own Transitions, and they distribute some of the most famous name brands of spectacles in the industry. But when it comes to progressive lenses, Essilor is the OG. They invented the progressive lenses way back in the 50s, and they've continued to invest in their technology to make incredibly awesome progressive lenses. And Essilor's very best progressive is called the Varilux XR Pro. So they have three main technologies that are in the Varilux XR Pro. So number one is something called the nanotech. What this technology does is reduce distortions in the reading portion of your progressive lens. And then they have something called Extend, which provides clear and crisp vision when you move your eyes and move your head, allowing you to see clearly almost instantaneously with head movements. And thirdly, Essilor has used something called their digital twin technology, where they've taken AI and they've taken data from any combination of prescription lens, age, visual tasks, visual lifestyle, and they've put that into AI and computed hundreds of thousands of different combinations of options depending on each individual. And so their lens is customized to make a really comfortable, easy wearing progressive lenses. So if you're looking for a lens that's easy to adapt to with clear vision when you're moving your eyes and doing a lot of movements, then you really want to be considering the Essilor Varilux XR Pro. So the question comes down to which of these progressives is the best, and that's one I can't really answer. But what I can tell you is that all of these progressive lenses are better than any of the other progressives that are out there. So my recommendation to you is that you probably have a trusted eye care provider, either your optometrist or your optician. I would go to them, bring the list of these lenses, and ask them, say, hey, which of these 5 lenses would you recommend for me? And I would go with that lens, and you're not going to go wrong with that. Now, if you're going to somewhere and you show them these 5 lenses, and if they say to you, well, we don't carry any of those 5 progressive lenses, but we have this one over here, and it's just as good, then I would seriously consider maybe checking out an optical that has one of these 5. And in order to help you out with that, I'm going to put a link down in the description below. And if you click on that link, I will email you a list of these 5 progressives, including clinic locators for each of those progressives that are the closest to you. So make sure you check out that link down below. Now, if you get one of these progressive lenses, likely you're going to be super happy with your progressive lenses, but that's probably not the only lens you're going to need. In fact, if you do a lot of computer work, if you do work all day long at a computer, you want a different lens in addition to your progressive. And in order to learn about that, you need to watch this video right here. Now, I do want to thank each of these companies for their educational grant that they provide to allow me to produce this content, but they have had no input into the content of what I'm saying about each of their progressive lenses. And with that, have a great optometry day.